we are with another episode of Backyard Brews and Reviews. We're actually in a backyard today.
Yay!
And I'm Shane. I'm sitting here with my awesome hosts, Autumn and Lee.
Hello.
And we have a special guest today, Lisa Walters from Sounds of NorCal.
Hello.
Hi, Lisa.
Thank you for joining us, Lisa.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
Lisa, let's real quick just kind of tell the folks who you are, what you do, why you're so awesome.
I have no idea. I don't know any of the answers to any of those questions. But no, I'm Lisa from Sounds of NorCal, as Shane said. And basically, I promote the local music scene through a website, Twitter, Instagram. You can look it up on Sounds of NorCal. There's a website, www.soundsofnorcal.com. You can go to. And I brought you guys gifts. I brought you swag.
Sweet.
Sounds of NorCal lanyards.
Thank you.
I love lanyards. It's swag.
There you go.
Yay. I could have clipped my mic to this.
There we go.
Let's get them on.
So yeah, check it out. Basically, if you want to know what's going on in the Sacramento area music scene, it's somewhere on one of my many platforms.
Yeah, Lisa works real hard to promote the local music scene.
Thank you.
Blood and sweat and tears.
Some of that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there's plenty of people who are like, I support the scene, but not a lot of them have websites.
Right. and promote shows and track other events.
And,
yeah.
and video.
Or
Lisa-
personal turboprop airplanes.
Yeah, you like
Yeah.
that?
Oh, nice.
Can you tell them the pilot to shut the plane off?
Did we not get a free airspace?
We didn't.
We didn't do the airspace clearing thing.
Part of the aesthetic of backyard brews and reviews.
Well, it is.
We're
I
out
can
there.
hear some birds
Right?
chirping.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice.
We're
We're
out
all
there.
we're all melting a little
We're
bit.
melting. There is a nice breeze.
Yeah.
It's only April.
I can't believe it, yeah.
This is as real as it gets.
It may not be backyard come June.
My sunburn's going to be real tomorrow. I'm telling you.
We'll have some fake
It's gonna be
ferns.
real.
So as a shift from our pilot episode,
Yeah.
we are all drinking the same beer
The
today.
same beer.
Weird, I know. Autumn, what are we drinking?
Today, Lisa brought us a lovely choice. It is from the Loomis Basin Brewery Company. It's called Avenger XX IPA.
No, I like the label. You
Yeah,
gotta, some
it's
things
really
you can pick
good.
by
I
the
find
label.
that's how I pick, especially this
It's a label
size.
with a sword.
That's how I pick them.
Yes.
Is the label.
That's usually how I pick them too.
Label art is almost as important as what's in the bottle.
But then I get in trouble. There's certain breweries that I find I don't like any of their beers, but their labels are awesome. So I'm like, oh, I want to try that.
You got to push through it.
But truly, I just want them like on my mantelpiece.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. They're
Decorative.
so I guess we will let you guys know how we
What do
feel about it.
they say their beer is?
Okay, so this is what they say. And we'll let you know how we feel if that's true. This beer is a beauty to behold. Looks just like sunset on a warm spring day. Big, billowy, off-white head that you could probably float a dime on, and a nose of dried apricot, fresh floral hops, and spruce, like a Christmas tree. The hops roll over the tongue like a sports car hugging a mountain road. The bitterness firmly in place. This lovely brew makes a statement: don't fear the Avenger.
That is poetic.
Yeah.
It kind of is.
Really good. I want to write.
And we all start drinking while she's
descriptions for
reading.
beer.
Yeah. Whoever does their copy is really trying.
Right?
So
They're
down.
doing a good
They're
job.
doing
Like,
it, yeah.
Yeah, it's enticing, right?
It is.
I mean, there's the
I don't know
label,
about
and then there's
Very
the
theatrical.
sunrise
what was it?
statement?
Sunrise over
on
the
a warm
Sunrise,
spring
something
morning or
about driving on a
something.
road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that with
I
beer.
do have
You-
to
Spring day, on a warm spring
Don't
day.
drink
It
and
doesn't.
drive.
taste the apricot, and that's something that
Yeah.
I like picking on in IPAs. And this, I appreciate this IPA is not kicking me in the tonsils,
Right.
Yeah.
like a untrained mule.
Right. Right.
That's usually
And this
where
is
me
a
and
double
IPAs
IPA,
yeah.
right? Like-
yeah, I'm not usually a fan, but I actually do like this at first sip. So, good job.
Yay!
Lisa
Yeah.
razzed me enough about not drinking IPAs when we first
did you
met.
Really? It's 'cause it's
Every time she saw that, like on Facebook or whatever, that I was out drinking and it was like a Blue Moon or a Hefeweizen, or she's like, girl beer or whatever. Every time. So finally I'm like, like, okay, I'll start trying more IPAs. And it's one of those beers, like beer itself,
Yeah.
when you first start drinking it,
Yeah.
some people love it immediately, but
Yeah.
for the most part, like it's an acquired taste. IPAs, now I'm getting to the point where I found really good,
Yeah.
really hoppy IPAs that I really like they're very distinct flavors in there.
Yeah.
They're not just like one of my least favorites to this day, and it's one of the most popular, Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. And it's just not.
It doesn't do it.
It doesn't. It
used to.
I don't like it, and that I think that was my.
People like it because it has a cult following, and they're like, well, we
Yeah.
have to drink it because support.
It's popular.
Your locals, and
It was the first real craft brew
Right.
from the
Yeah.
area.
It became
Yeah.
hugely popular.
And
to
it's got
support it.
national renown now. Like
Yeah.
people are drinking Sierra
Yeah.
Nevada all over the
In
place.
fact, I think they have a Sierra Nevada brewery on the East Coast. now.
Really? They
Yeah,
opened it?
like they've expanded and broadened their horizons.
If you guys know, let us know. Comments below. Let us correct it, Lee, if he's
I'm
wrong.
definitely right.
I'm
Well,
definitely
and
wrong.
the other
never be
one
wrong
is
on this show.
Lagunitas is kind of the same.
Yes.
It's become somewhat, it's very well known. It's very accessible. It's not something you have to hunt and peck to find.
Yeah.
And I prefer that way over Sierra Nevada.
Oh, yeah.
Drink it.
I actually
better.
enjoy Lagunitas IPA, which I discovered years later when I decided, way after I decided I didn't like IPAs. Now I am growing to like them a lot, and I actually really am enjoying this. And like you said, the flavors they mention, I'm tasting them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
Very apparent.
so when I was hanging out with Jessica Wabbit, her thing with the beer is how much alcohol is in it. Because we want to get our money's worth.
Right.
So, you buy a bomber like
Very
this.
important.
8.7.
Okay.
And,
All right.
to
Nobody's
hang out a
driving
while.
home right away.
for paying $10 for a bottle, you want that oomph,
That's why you split a bomber 4 ways, so you can drive
Exactly.
after.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I don't think I can live without the kick in the teeth anymore. I need
really?
the IPA.
Yeah.
Is it
and it gets
too
worse.
mild
It's like
for
a
you?
gateway drug to the doubles and the triples.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And if you find a quad,
Yeah.
oh,
That exists.
oh, it does.
Oh.
It
Yeah.
does.
That's terrifying,
But
but
this
I
is
need
really for a double. This is really mild.
It's
Like I've
smooth,
had,
yeah.
I've had regular IPAs that I think kick you a little harder than
Yeah.
this.
Yeah, it just depends. It
It's
depends a lot
surprising.
on the hops they use
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
In comparison to the picture on the front,
Let's see. What,
I was expecting more hops.
There's hops
yeah.
prominently displayed.
Yeah, I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys can see
Gets
this.
exploding through a cloud of hops.
There's hops all over. She's kind of a heroine of sorts.
Like a Wonder Woman of
with a
beer.
sword,
Yeah.
right? Like
female Avenger.
yeah, and
Yeah.
and a large mug of beer, which that's my favorite kind of hero.
Yeah.
Female sword beer. I'm in.
I gotta get a sword. That's all there is to it. Yeah, I started drinking IPAs a while back, and one of the initial things that I liked about it is I grew up in Oregon, and I grew up in the Willamette Valley where we grow a lot of hops.
Yeah.
And so I think for me it was sort of nostalgic when the nose would always get me and take me back
Yeah.
to springs in the Willamette Valley, and so that's kind of why I started drinking the IPAs. And then when the doubles started appearing, I'm like, oh, well, that's got more alcohol. Let's try that. Yeah, I can get schnockered on one triple sometimes,
Right.
depending upon the alcohol content in the AAC.
Yeah, I have to get my money's worth in a very small amount of
Right.
beer. Like, it's very offensive to me when beer is not good because I can't have a lot of it. For me, like the alcohol content is a big deal breaker. Like I am so small that like I can only have about like that much, and then I'm giggly, and it gets worse. Yeah, so
Now you've understood why we've asked you to co-host this with us.
yeah. So I'm like, oh my god, I love music so much more all of a sudden.
We don't tell Autumn what we're listening to until after she's had a few.
Yeah.
So great.
Well, it's like wine tasting. Everything's great after a couple glasses.
Right.
I love
Stop,
everything.
stop keeping score after a while.
Luxurious
Yes.
hotels,
Yeah.
rolling hills.
It's
You love their
the
wine.
I love you, man.
You're the best.
I love you.
That's what I loved about like beer and bar culture is everyone just goes like straight to like the I love you drunk. And, like, we should do this every day.
At the right bar.
Yeah.
Do this every day.
Yeah, true.
We're all hanging over each other. Well, I love you. I love you so much.
I must have spent the time at the wrong bars.
Yeah.
Too much time at
That
the
can
wrong
go
bars.
two different ways.
Right?
Yeah.
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 Yeah, the crowd can be sketchy
It
sometimes.
depends on the mood of the attendees
Yes.
when they get there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If they're
How
on the-
quickly they play Guns N' Roses determines the night, at least in my opinion. Yeah. If I hear Paradise City at the right intervals, everything's gonna be all right.
That's awesome.
Places that were playing like 80s new wave.
That's not okay.
Yeah. you shut.
I like it, but it's gonna be sad, I think.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
I was sad a lot.
It depends on the demographic of the attendees.
Yeah,
Lee's dropping his mic
I
on
know,
us.
but
He's
the
out.
lanyard caught it.
See?
I saved
Sounds
the
of NorCal,
day.
saving the
I
day.
saved the
Yeah.
day.
They are
Fantastic
useful in more
lanyard.
than one way.
I'm a firm believer of calling out flubs.
Yeah, thank you.
He dropped his mic.
I'm
Yeah.
like,
Lee, what are you thinking of the Avenger?
It's good. Yeah, I get the spruciness.
Oh,
in it. Oh yes.
we've got distractions off camera.
Yeah, yeah, no problems. Like I said, I'm always down for the harshest of IPAs. I want to feel the pain. I'm a former semi-current smoker, so I like the burn a little bit.
Semi-current.
I may have had a cigarette in the last 20 minutes, so it happens, you know. But yeah, it's good though. It's enjoyable. It's an enjoyable IPA.
well, quad will definitely clear that palate for you.
Yeah.
Watch
By
the-
way
You'll-
of
Watch
you'll-
the tar
burning it
off.
out
You'll have taste buds
Yeah.
again. It'll be amazing.
Yeah.
You
Throw
know.
away your tongue, your tongue.
Yeah.
Wash the tar away.
Right. Exactly.
Well, Loomis Basin does a great job, I think, on all their beers.
They have very good beers,
I
yes.
haven't really found anything I don't like. I'm
Yeah.
not really into the stouts, but it's kind of nice every once in a while to go that direction, just to get a taste of it. And
They're kind of more of a wintry style anyway.
They're
Yeah.
heavy. They're,
So heavy.
Yeah, they're heavy.
Like the sweaters of beer.
that's what there's a beer.
Yeah.
I love though that our
Put
guest
one,
brought the
wrap it
beer.
around.
Yeah.
Like-
Yeah, that's
like-
the coolest.
that was a
They
smart
don't do
move.
that.
That's a lot of fun to have the guest bring the beer.
Oh, good.
They should
I'm glad you
bring
like
Our
it.
last guest didn't drink beer, so
Yeah, he drinks
Jason.
Beers and bands, and they don't drink beer. That's not.
he drinks wine. He's fancy.
He's fancy.
Jason
Jason's
Angove is
fancy.
fancy.
He is fancy. Fancier than us.
Congrats to them for the Sammys.
Yeah,
absolutely,
Congrats
yeah.
to Jason on that record too.
Yeah.
I went to the release party and just was blown
So
away.
much talent. So
yeah,
much talent.
yeah, pretty cool.
So speaking of music,
Yeah,
Yeah.
good segue.
yeah,
Yeah.
I try.
That was a
I
great
try.
segue.
The bar's been Justin set the bar high
Yeah.
with awful segues.
Yeah.
Speaking of sunshine, let's talk about fish.
Ooh, wait. Gather my thoughts. Where are we going? Shifting gears. Lee,
Oh, I just
Lee
saw
actually. That is not getting edited out.
Sorry.
Lee brought this music to the table, so I will let you throw it off.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna forget the band's name. Oh.
RJD2.
Come on, Lee.
Like RT.
He didn't have a mic anyway, so it's all right.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so the artist is RJD2. The album is Dame Fortune. It's a 2016 album. It was released within the last week, I believe. I think it was
March
like March
25th.
25th. Okay, thank you.
Extremely
Perfect.
new.
RJD2 is a hip-hop producer from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, by way, I believe, of like Columbus, Ohio, and ultimately Eugene, Oregon.
Born in
in
Oregon.
Eugene.
Yeah.
See, I saw that, so that was the saving grace.
Yeah.
I'm from Oregon.
Saving grace. We know where she's going with this.
Oh, I had to give him a chance, right?
Yeah, so
true.
yeah, RJD2 is a hip hop producer, but I don't know that you can kind of pinhole him in any genre. In fact,
Not really.
yeah, each album it's all over the spectrum.
Super different. Yeah.
This album, Dame Fortune, it kind of exemplifies that. In fact,
Yep.
it just covers numerous spectrums: hip hop, trip hop, acid jazz. Everything you could imagine in the musical world. It's all kind of held together with a solid backbone of a hip hop groove and a really solid beat. So this is actually my first time really diving into this artist. I honestly have seen the name, I've seen it around a lot, and I've dabbled.
How did you find him in this album?
I actually was looking at Metacritic's
Nice.
new releases list, and I said, "What are we going to talk about at this video?"
Lee was
threw
doing
it
his
out.
homework.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
This kind of popped out as one of the recent new albums that were at least seemingly interesting, and it probably would result in some interesting discussion, at least, because it's a lot of it's instrumental. There's some vocal. It's all over the place, and some may enjoy it and some may not. It's different. It's something that I'm not super familiar with.
Which I'm actually kind of excited. You say some may and some may not.
Yeah.
I think we're going to represent the full gambit here.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because I think we have some that really enjoy it. Like, I know Autumn mentioned she was excited when she first saw it. I don't know how you felt about the album, but
I'm a low-key fan from back in the day. He did a song called Smoke and Mirrors way, way, way back, probably in maybe 2005, 2006, way back, forever ago.
I love how 10 years is way back now.
Yeah.
I just remember being like a tiny child.
Yeah.
Like I had nothing
Still in the
child.
Navy then. That was a while ago. It was another lifetime.
Just imagine. When I think of myself as a young person, I imagine myself as a baby. No matter
Toddling
what.
around.
Yeah.
I'm 15 years old baby.
I was an
16
actual
years old,
idiot
3.
until like 3 years ago. Like
Yeah,
that's kind of
exactly.
how there was a cutoff, and
not an
I've
idiot
sorted a
anymore?
few things.
No, I was a little idiot until like 2 years ago. Maybe.
Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah.
There's a good
Sorry.
range
Yeah.
sitting here.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Which is awesome. Again, perspectives, right? Like we have so many great different perspectives.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's
Yeah.
good. I think
Yeah,
that's sort
totally.
of that's a part of like we learn from your mistakes and you realize that being a grown up isn't that terrible, and in fact it might actually be like your one saving grace.
Kind of
And then
cool
you
sometimes.
are looking back in retrospect and you're just like, whoa, you could cringe. You're like, this is you 5 years ago, and you're like, whoa.
No, that was a growth experience.
It was indeed
Yeah.
a growth experience into a myriad of thrift stores.
So being a fan of his older work, how do you feel about this new album?
I think it sounded really similar to a lot of stuff that he's done. It's funny, like he does go all over the map, but he does sort of seem to come back to like this happy Caribbean jazz trip hop little thing. He's got a corner definitely, and some could say perhaps it's just like really cool elevator music.
Yeah.
But
Some.
I like, but I like.
You're last.
I know.
You were last.
I know, because I brought notes.
She's the only one that brought notes.
Zone out to.
Right.
That's important to me. There are times when I listen to music that doesn't have words and just kind of like be carried away. Like especially for me, like I paint a lot of times, and I don't like listening to music with lots of words because I want to create my own narrative, and like having something I can put on, just play and go. That's really nice. Like an artist that will take you on a musical journey as opposed to a literal story.
This isn't a active listening experience, right? I don't know that that's what he's strong at.
Yeah.
I'd agree with that. Like, I think leading up to this recording, I try to get through the album, right? Like, you just try to have it, which means it has to be in the background.
Right.
Right? Like, while I'm doing yard work or while I'm messing around with the kids at home and wrangling them, I've got it playing in the background. I did get a couple listens through of just listening to it and studying it, paying attention. But I think my opinion on it was formed in those background listening experiences, right? It's not lyrically heavy anyways, right? There's several tracks, there's no vocals
lyrics,
at all.
Just limited samples.
Right.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's great background music.
Yeah.
It's not distracting. It's not, and you could take this as positive or negative. It doesn't amp me up. It doesn't calm me down. It doesn't push my mood one way or the other.
Propels you forward in a natural.
It just kind of lets it. I hate silence when I'm trying to do stuff, so it kind of fills that void, and I enjoyed it in that aspect. I also have had a love for Pink Floyd, a love for other things that's made me think of were like Massive Delicious, Portishead, things that are very electronic based.
Yeah.
Those are obviously there's more vocals involved there, but but of that ilk, and this has kind of made me have that same vibe, that same feeling.
It wasn't
more hip-hop
necessarily
skewed,
like
but-
way more hip hop skewed.
Right.
It wasn't necessarily like the cool music, but
Right.
like the chill music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was very chill.
In fact, I think like even on the very last track of the album, he employed like some exotica, which is like that weird jazz from the 70s, or I'm sorry, like 50s and 60s. It's like almost racist, right? It's like using Asian sounds and Asian percussion to make a very interesting sound, and it's cool just to hear that kind of employed with like a hip hop undertone or a groove, you know?
And I saw one review that kind of said it really well. Like, in the first track, right out the gate, he's got you on Mars in 3030. Like, it's very ethereal, very 70s sci-fi kind of sounds.
Are you talking about the first track?
The intro.
The portal.
Yeah.
Portal, yeah.
That's very. You mentioned Pink Floyd, and that's as Pink Floyd as
that
he
was
really
my
gets
first
on this
thought
album.
when I heard that, right? Like,
Yeah.
just diving into this album, that
Which
was
is
my
why
first
I
thought.
hated it. Yeah.
Why are we friends?
I don't know.
Wait, do you like Pink Floyd?
I can't stand Pink
Right?
Floyd.
I still love
And she's
you.
one of my favorite people. I don't know
I know she's one of my
what's
favorite
going on.
people. Like that's totally fine because you were all.
I've just never been a Pink that electronic thing. The closest I think I got was maybe like I want to say Genesis kind of had that
Prog rock, but with more
prog
energy.
rock with
Yeah.
more of a backbeat kind of thing, and not having that just throws me for a loop.
Yeah, I get that.
It's what I crave in music, you
Yeah.
know. So when it's just rambling jazz, progressive jazz, you know, just like why? I don't get it. Sorry, Harley. I don't get it, and that's me. You know, I'm fully aware that you know we all have our opinions and what affects us and what we grew up with.
Yeah, I mean, I could go so far as to say that because I have a jazz background, I like it more. And that's probably why.
Absolutely.
That makes a lot of sense.
I
Yeah.
love jazz,
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. I think there's nostalgia there. You know.
And
we're
that's like
talking
the
about
Pink Floyd vibe for me. My
Right.
dad,
Pink Floyd is
growing up,
awesome.
my dad listened to Pink Floyd, and then my friends in the Navy, my early friends in the Navy, did a lot of classic rock, Pink Floyd, Zeppelin. You know, the people that I've partied with over the years, that's been what they listened to. My stoner years, that's what we listened to. Was a lot of Floyd, Tom Petty, like. So for me, again, he touched on that nostalgic button.
Yeah.
So right out the gate, and it's the intro song. So, okay, I'll listen to the rest. You've now opened the door. I'm willing to come in. You know, like that's how it felt for me.
Yeah. Well, do you want me to get out my notes?
Please.
Okay.
Please.
I love her notes.
Okay.
Best.
I'm
getting out my backup beer.
Absolutely. Here, you
Did
can
you
have the rest
laminate
of
your
it.
notes?
Wow.
No, I brought a folder so
Okay,
when it
good.
get wrinkled.
Thank you.
She's like, I want you to know how much I do not like.
Spill-proof
No.
notes.
Listen, I was willing. I told.
She was resistant.
I told Shane in the first 30 seconds. Oh my God, I hate it.
I sent her
Quick
Literally
assessment.
hate it. And he's like, we can pick something else. And I'm like, no, because I need to listen to this.
Right.
I need to.
Oh, thanks for picking this, Autumn. That was a
Bro,
good call.
Yeah. Thanks, Autumn. My favorite person
Blame.
in the world.
Blame.
Yeah.
So just to go over a couple of the things that you touched on. I mean, some of the things that I, noted was that there's a jazz intro, and there's, first track, my notes were this jazzy intro into these very repetitive lyrics. That's cool, whatever. Lots of bands have repetitive lyrics, whatever.
Yeah.
And a drum solo, which I'm like, yeah, okay, that's weird. The Piece of What, which is one of the singles, what I liked about it was he sings in this soulful voice. I don't know if he sings on the
No,
track.
I don't believe so. No,
Whoever
yeah.
they have sing, I think, is a recurring character.
It was in my notes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and I forgot to print out my notes.
And I love the soul singer they include.
Yeah,
I agree.
and there's a story being told, and then that repeats again on Bridge of Matron Saints, the last one. The thing that threw me for a loop, the first 18 seconds, there's nothing but this slight buzz. I'm like, is it playing? Like, I don't have the best headphones. Wait, no, I hear something. Oh.
If you're not listening, and I kind of hate when artists do, I get it, why artists do it, like it's a creative thing, and it's
a
this whole,
creative thing, but
I hate because I'm an average listener, and 90% of the people that are listening to this, either with crappy headphones or in their car, where there's road noise, like I've got
the heck?
so many
We're
seconds
gonna
of,
turn it up hell loud.
and then it comes on,
And then we'll blow our freaking
or like
earbuds
Korn,
in,
who did
and
how
then we
many
can't
tracks
listen
of
to music at
nothing?
all.
Yeah.
I don't want nothing tracks, but I love that artistic
nothing.
indulgence.
You would.
I do. I appreciate it.
Nothing track?
They did like 12 or 13 nothing tracks. That was
All of one album was on the last track or something, right?
I
An
forget.
asshole thing to do,
It does.
and I want to do it.
Yeah. Hide every track after 20 minutes of silence if you can.
Yeah,
That's great.
exactly.
Only true fans.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole album's
really
a hidden track.
dedicated.
Yeah.
We'll get to the good stuff. So I did like that soulful voice again, and it was very reminiscent of some early R&B stuff. Some of the, one of the ones that I thought was interesting, the PF Day one. Okay, who is PF or what? More organ. Like, I don't like that Moog organ thing. That's just me. But it was tolerable because it was the only instrument in the opening, so it was very cool. I like that. There wasn't other stuff happening with it because I think it stands alone.
A use of Moog that you didn't hate.
But that's something like you touched on, very new wave. I would play it during massage. It was actually pleasurable. I liked it. It was very calming. I like that a lot. But So I don't know if you noticed, but like the first half of the record, the songs were about 2.5 to 3 minutes long.
They were very short.
Then you get to the second half, they're 5 minutes
Real
long. I'm like, oh my God, why? They're not different, or I don't know. I didn't get that either. Whatever. So can we just talk about the Sheboygan Left?
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought, interesting, Sheboygan, who's Sheboygan and why did he leave?
It's a place.
Okay, it is a place. It's Sheboygan, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
So are we talking about the left-leaning constituency of Sheboygan?
Interpret
like
how you will.
Liberal
The
Sheboygan?
Communist Party in Sheboygan.
Or, okay, it's also hearing something in the distance through the woods. It's a play on some ancient language. Or, in the Urban Dictionary, it is doggy style. Come on her back, yell Sheboygan while throwing blue glitter on her, then tip her on her side to tap off the excess glitter and see what shapes you've made.
I like that one.
The Sheboygan Left. Who
So-
knew?
That's when you tip her to the
I'm
left.
so sorry. But, my broadcast experience was,
That's what we're
the
going
O
with on that
factor
That's what we're going with on that one.
Yeah.
on the morning dump. So I don't know. That just cracked me up. I'm like, of course, we had
That's
to go
great.
to some. I don't even know.
I doubt that was his intent.
I'm going
But
with that
maybe,
one.
yes.
Do you not? I think he just likes saying the word because that's the only word.
It's a good word.
It's
Sheboygan,
a
Sheboygan,
hilarious
Sheboygan,
word.
Sheboygan,
Yeah.
Sheboygan, Sheboygan. He says it throughout the whole song.
If you're an artist, you're gonna try and find
It's all the above.
Yeah.
words ever.
It's a fun
The
word to
ancient
say.
Sioux used to practice the Sheboygan tip over. And he's,
With blue glitter.
yeah, with
The
blue
ancient
glitter.
one is the same. The ancient one is the same as the maneuver.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Same.
That's
Yeah.
that distance noise you're hearing. through
Right.
the woods. Oh, yeah.
Oh, they just Sheboygan.
Yep. Well, because you're supposed to yell Sheboygan. So I don't know. That just cracked me up. Anyway, that's about all
Polka
I've
capital.
got.
of
Somebody
the
did her
West.
homework.
Yeah.
I'm impressed.
Appreciate that, yeah.
I can't say I'll ever go listen to it again, frankly.
That's all right.
Fair enough.
The first half of the record is all shorter songs, and the last half is all
That's an interesting
longer.
choice, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if he did it on purpose or.
I would guess.
I'm
Yes.
Sure.
How many albums is this?
Sixth studio
Sixth,
album, I
right?
believe.
So at this point,
Solo album. Yeah.
right? Like, if it was his second, maybe
Yeah.
third,
don't know
I
if
could
it was
see
my
him
sixth
going.
Album, I'd be like, F it.
Yeah. You can tell.
Yeah, that's true.
cares?
That's true.
No one's listening to this anyway.
Well, I thought it was interesting. He said it was inspired by Philadelphia and his time there and
Yeah.
whatever. And really,
I guess.
I would have to dig a lot deeper to know what that means as far as many
Yeah.
of those songs goes. The one with the hip hop, the rap in it,
Yeah.
is very graphic. I mean, it tells you exactly the story about
Right.
this kid.
Yeah.
And but everything else is sort of you figure it out for yourself. And
Right.
yeah, that's just too much work for me, frankly.
I like my stories given to
I
me.
know. Just tell me who's getting laid when and where. That's
Well,
all
I mean,
want to
there
know.
is something to be
And
said
how.
for that. As much as it is artistic to be out of the way and floofy and like allude to lots of things.
Yeah.
Illusions.
Ooh, I like that.
There is a reason why most popular pop songs are easily accessible. It's just because that's kind of what people crave. We want to know what and who and when and why
Yeah.
in the 3-4 minutes that they were given.
And there is an appeal. I mean, Lee and I talked about it on Here and Now coming up. Lee picked a Marty
In the future, they
Robbins?
talked about it.
Marty Robbins.
Marty
yeah.
Robbins song.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's old country telling a story, right? Like there's no artistic prose.
Right.
There's no like this is what happened.
It's
This
straight
is what's
prose.
happening,
It is
right?
a
Like
story.
like it's just
yeah.
but there is something like, to that that's not like when you say that a pop artist doing that and spoon feeding it, it's almost like I don't want that.
Yeah.
But in that context, it's beautiful.
It's
like it's how you want it. Like it's
Yeah.
it still feels. There's such a there's two like
Is
it's
it-
so
is it
hard. I
Brooks
always
and
go back and
Dunn
forth.
who does the My Maria song and their old classic country?
Sounds right.
They
I
did,
don't
like,
maybe.
There's a song they did about a neon
I don't know
sign.
country, but I know the song and I
Brooks and Dunn is a
train, a
classic.
truck, a stray dog.
Here's a
Railroad
way,
tracks.
way
Stop it.
better.
Yeah.
He's the I'm Gonna Love You Forever.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah,
That one.
I know what
Yeah.
song you're talking about. I couldn't tell you for sure who
Okay, so
sings
I've
it.
been delving back into them. I just love songwriting. And people that are particularly, strangely, weirdly good, I'm like laser attracted to. I don't know what's going on here, and I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to figure out how. And it's just beautiful. They're very, very, very specific.
But it doesn't
extremely to the point. Not in a way that's it
doesn't feel like that
anything.
pop spoon-fed
It's not
simple.
pop
Right,
spoon-fed
right.
at all.
Yeah.
There's a reality that has to be there too, or an
Right.
honestness. I
There's
think.
a
Right.
super honestness, and they have such a grasp of the English language that they're able to craft poetic. They're not even rhythms per
Right.
se, as they're like a quilt being woven.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's so masterly. I'm like getting all teary-eyed about country music. It's so masterly.
You can tell why we bring a musician onto the
Yeah.
show.
And I don't even like country that much. And I'm like, I like that.
The three of us love music, but she makes music.
Yeah.
It's a whole
That's a
different
good thing.
perspective.
Yeah.
It's a great perspective to have.
It's so beautiful.
Words are beautiful. Yeah, and I think you're right though. There's some prose is you have to have that experience that's
Yeah.
coming from a life experience, and it
Yeah.
comes across in the music, obviously. You know, Dave Grohl said something about, you know, there's no good pop music today. And if the number one song is about your butt, we've got a problem. And I thought, well, you know what were we talking about back in the 80s? You know, we really
Right.
were talking about sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Yeah.
And all those came from experiences that the bands were
There's no
having
one
and
poison.
how life was.
And
then.
go back even further, Tutti Frutti,
Yeah.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the top of the charts have always been
about candy.
simple,
Yeah.
The top
right? Like they
four-
sound good, they're fun to dance to or whatever, but they're simple, they're not heavy, they're not deep.
The top pop songs in the 1940s, 1950s, and 1960s were all written by 4 or 5 the same
Yeah.
people.
Yeah.
The same
Yep.
people.
Shows you how much the industry's
Including
changed
Carole
too.
And
Burt
they
Bacharach.
were literally a songwriting farm, and they created. They literally go on record to be like, "This is the most derivative thing ever."
Yeah.
Something
Yep.
would be popular, and they'd come in and be like, "Hey, could you write something that's exactly like
Yep.
that one, but with different words?"
Sure.
You know, it'd be in the same rhythm pattern, be in the same chord pattern, be exactly the same, literally,
Yeah.
except change chords, literally. And they'd release it, and it hit number one again, like literally.
Right.
So it's, I mean,
Yeah, people talk about the music industry and the monster and the machine and all that.
yeah.
Compare the monster and machine to what it was then. There's at least way more diversity.
And there's way more
Right,
voices
like-
now. You
You
have
talked
a lot
about
of
some
choices.
different genres, touched on trip hop and whatnot. And the sofa sessions I've been doing, you know, when I interview the musicians, I'm like, don't even tell me what the don't put yourself in a hole. Don't give me a
Right.
genre name. Just tell me what you feel and how you make
Right.
your music and how you would describe it without labeling it.
Right.
It's just they're so diverse now,
It's
and I
so
love that.
hard to not want to label, but it's so derivative. It really does boil things down.
But and that's what like we try to ask on here now. We try to ask them if you're talking about your music to somebody who's never heard it, how do
Yeah.
you describe it?
Yeah.
How do you
exactly.
describe it?
You
Like
need a 15-second elevator
Yeah.
Pitch.
yeah, elevator pitch.
and
Yeah.
a very small, like, can you boil your genre down to, like, a couple of words?
Yeah.
Can you?
Experimental art rock and cosmic pop.
She's worked on that.
Yeah, she's practiced.
Nailed it.
Yeah, all you musicians watching need to take
Pay
lessons
attention.
from her.
Her genre was the worst day ever.
I'm not going to ask you to even explain cosmic pop.
I like it.
Do you have
I think
to?
it's-
No, you
I
shouldn't
think
have
it
to.
defines it.
I get it. Yeah.
It's sleek, future,
Yeah.
leaning electronic.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like, you can't nail down what this band sounds like specifically.
Right.
So when she says cosmic pop, it gives you kind of a ballpark idea
Right.
of what it sounds like, and that's
Not
as close as you're
specific.
gonna
Yeah.
get.
Well, with
right?
this, I
Like-
mean, track to track, it's different genres.
Yep, right.
Incredibly with like I said, a through line of the hip hop, basically the hip hop beat. Yeah.
Also, as a
Yeah.
side note,
Yeah.
RJD2 did the theme music for Mad Men,
Which is
Oh,
and
had to
it's,
get to
it's
that.
one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I love the show, and I've loved that theme song
Yeah.
since day one.
It's
Yeah.
haunting. It's fantastic. It is.
If you don't like anything else he
Yeah.
does, you should like that.
Yeah. And maybe if you like that,
should like that.
check
Oh,
out
check-
his other
okay.
work. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I don't want to talk to you.
we're unfriended.
So I think let's sum up beer. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Oh, thumbs up.
All right.
Thumbs up.
All the way around.
Yeah.
Album. Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Oh.
Oh, no downs though.
Indifferent.
I'm
thought-
like
Yeah.
leaning a little bit
You
down.
can say
but-
down.
No.
It's
I just,
fine.
I,
Okay,
I
wow.
don't want to.
That's awesome.
It's not like I said.
Yeah.
There were redeeming moments for sure.
Yeah.
It's just it's a very confusing
She found the redeeming
style
moments
for
because
me.
she committed
It's a
to
confusing
digging.
style
Yeah,
for
and
me.
that's I think part of it, right?
That's the main thing
Yeah.
that we're trying to focus on is that your taste in music does not make you a bad person.
Right.
Your taste in music is just that. It's your taste in
Yeah.
music, and you are entitled to your taste.
Well, like I said, I won't listen to it again.
Yeah.
know.
And maybe dig in, like that to me
But
is part of what I like. Dig into. If you start an album and it hits you in the face where I don't know if I like this, give it a couple listens. Maybe you
Which
will.
Lisa did,
It won't
right?
always
Like,
change, right?
that's-
Yeah.
When we first proposed this to her, she was like, "Oh no, I don't like it."
No.
And we had a back and forth about it a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, if you can at least listen enough to tell us why you don't like it,
Yeah.
right? Not
and I'm
just
really glad we didn't
I don't
have
like
to
it.
go to the ageism thing.
No.
I was afraid we were going
I
to go
don't
down
think
that
that's a
path.
That's again, when that's why I was saying I love the range that we have here because I think
Yeah.
there's a good cross representation,
Mm-hmm.
right? Of not only age, styles, what we're into musically,
Mm-hmm.
like all the above.
And
is well
let me
represented.
say, I think Dave Grohl's wrong. There's plenty of pop music that doesn't talk about butts, and it's pretty damn good. So that's a
Cosmic
big deal
pop.
because Dave.
It's great.
You know, I
Countering the
love
Grohl.
I know
What?
my
I feel
future
like
ex-husband.
It's sort of like right up his alley as far as branding wise to say something like that. Though.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, of course, he's not going to like pop. His whole world is rock and roll.
Yeah.
His entire existence is rock and
He
roll.
usually makes statements though that I feel are very on point.
Yeah.
That particular statement would
It's
be
a
one
little
was
dad
the
rocky.
exception.
It
Yeah,
is, yeah.
Dad rock.
Foo Fighters
Very
is dad
dad.
rock, and I feel old real quick.
I know, right?
That is good.
Yeah. All right. Kill the show.
All right. On that note,
Guess we're done here.
we are actually.
All right, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Lisa, for coming out.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was
Very
fun.
much. It was a lot of fun. Check out Sounds of NorCal.
Thank you.
She's also doing a video series, the
Sofa Sessions on YouTube.
So-
YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, website.
Yeah.
Find me.
Check her out.
Yep.
Support, like, enjoy, share.
Thank you.
Same here.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys. All right. Good.